I ate that food too fast.
You did?
Yeah, I have indigestion now.
I had a Perfect Bar. That's my breakfast.
Really?
Slash lunch.
I need to get to the grocery store like so bad.
You know what? I've been traveling so much that I have not eaten like a home cooked meal.
I know. So this is the problem now that I'm having. So, which you're probably experiencing it more because I'm just starting to travel. But like, so I left Thursday to go to Madison for a conference yesterday morning, but the fucking conference started at, these fucking medical professionals are up and at 'em. Like the thing started at 7. So like there was no way I was leaving here at 5.
You're an early morning girly. So.
I know, but like it wasn't, whatever. So I left and it's like, so when I'm traveling, I can use my business card to pay for like my meals and shit. But it's like when you're on the road,
there's nothing healthy to
There's nothing healthy. And you're also like, I don't want to stop and like go to a restaurant. Like I just want to get there. You know what I mean?
Also like, what choices do I have? Like you walk around and you're like, I don't want any of this.
So you want to know what I ate on the way there and on the way back? Starbucks, which is arguably not like the greatest thing either. But that's just
what was there and like the best of
the healthiest out of like your options are. I drove by because I was like I went to that fashion outlet, so I was in Rosemont and I drove by. There's a Kava out there. She's not open yet, so I was like, oh, I'll just stop here really quick. Yeah. No, that wasn't an option. So now I'm like, this is going to be the death of me trying to figure out, like, what do you eat on the road?
You don't, like, you either pack something. Like, so I've been airport traveling, like airplane traveling, whatever. And I was just in New York, and both New York and where was my other, Miami or Houston? Both New York and Houston were, like, later flights right after the events. So I had to, like, get to the airport. I had a fucking snack box on the airplane, and I was like, it's not healthy. It doesn't even fucking taste good. But I'm like, I'd rather eat this now than get home at like 10:30 and be like, now I got to figure out something to eat.
Yeah. It's like, it's not, that's like an adjustment. I got to plan better for that. Cause I like stopped on the way. I went to the outlets, I shopped. And then when I was leaving to go to Madison, I got myself a breakfast sandwich from Starbucks. It was like 1 p.m.
It's just like it's not feasible. And it's not like, you're not like, oh my God, this is so good.
It's not. And then that conference started at the fucking crack of dawn. And like, they were like, they had breakfast, but it's like, not breakfast.
No, they give like, here's a croissant.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't want a fucking pastry. On 0 out of 7 days a week, I'm eating a fucking pastry for breakfast. Like, I'm like, I need a fucking meal. Like, I can't just have, so they had homemade granola bars, which actually were really good.
I bet you a homemade granola bar would be good.
Really good. I was like, I fear there may be a lot of sugar in this because there was like some like
syrup,
dried
maple.
Yeah. And like some dried fruit. Like, not bad sugar, but you knew that there was syrup and like whatever in there. But it was delicious. But then like that like held me over, and then I go to leave, and it's like you just want to, when it's time to go, you just want to
get the fuck out. Yeah.
And like I'm not gonna stop now. So same thing. I went to Starbucks. I got myself another wrap, and like
no,
there's not a ton of like healthy grab and go like that.
There's even at the airport, you're like, do I want this sandwich that has been sitting for like probably a day with like some deli meat shit?
No.
So then you're like, all right, do I get a bar? You're like, I've had fucking 10 bars already.
10 bars, yeah.
That's like if you get there early enough and you can find like a little like, I don't know, like some type of like restaurant there, fine. Yeah. But otherwise you're literally eating shit and you feel like shit, and then you're sitting on a plane and you're like, this sucks. All of it just sucks.
It all sucks. And then I'm like, I would rather spend $17 on these 2 pieces of beef jerky than eat like
but then you're also
bars.
Like, why would I spend the money on my groceries, bring stuff when like they're paying for my stuff?
But then you're just still like, it's nothing is, there's just not great
in New York,
food.
They gave us breakfast every morning, but the breakfast was like croissants, bagels and cream cheese and a fruit bowl. And so I was like, this is not breakfast.
You're like, where's my protein?
So I would stop at a Juice Generation and get a smoothie every morning, like some proteins. I tried like 3 different ones there. They actually were pretty good. But I was like, at least I'll have like something to start the day. And then for lunch, it's like, at these lunches too, it's like, it's not a full sandwich. It's a half.
Yeah.
And you can get half so that someone else can try the other half. And it's like, it's all like you can taste the salt. The chips are so good, but they're so salty to the point that like my lips are so dry.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's just not the way that I want to eat.
No, not at all. And it's not, and yeah, I guess I need to start like packing some snacks or some, like I got to start thinking about it because I'm not going to be able to be and not that I'm traveling every day, because I'm certainly not, but like when I do have to travel around, I need to start figuring out, have you ever seen those people on TikTok? They have like restock with my car with me, and they have like anything you can
Well, it's more like you need to figure out how to like put your new routine together. Like I don't travel often. It's like 2 times a year that I travel. So it's like, okay, I'm off my routine, but then I like have to like get back on my routine in some way. It's so funny. I said this a few weeks ago, I think on the podcast, but I was like, I can wake my ass up really early on these vacations, not vacations, on these work trips because I'm like, I know that I need to get a workout in before work most days because I'm like, then I'm sitting. Like I just sit all day and it sucks. So I was waking up at 5 and then in some of these cities too, I'll be like, all right, I'll just like go to a workout after the thing because I have nothing else
like, what
to
else do you do? Yeah. I also like, I did not sleep well. Hotel sleeps don't fucking do it for me. I was like so jazzed. I went to dinner with one of my coworkers and like, I thought we were going to talk about work and we didn't talk about work at all. We just shot the shit and it was like so much fun. But then like I went back to my hotel and I was so excited to just lay in bed and like chill. And then I'm like, I can't fucking sleep.
No, my Aura sleep score was like 50.
I know, I saw. I really
because I was like, I couldn't get comfortable, and I always bring a silk pillowcase because I know that like I just like to sleep on a silk pillowcase. So I always bring my own pillowcase, and I, for the life of me, could not sleep. Morgan, who's been on the podcast before, she was like, it's a full moon. There's this, and I was like, well, the full moon needs to stop because I need to go to sleep.
I know, and then it's like I was tossing and turning, and then I'm like, I know I have to get up in like an hour anyway. You're like, do I just get up? Like, I don't know. It was just like not good sleep. And then
hotels are hard to, it's not your bed.
It's not. There's something to be said. It used to never matter, but now that I am elderly, it matters.
Well, you sleep with the Hatch, right?
Oh yeah.
So I put
it on my phone.
noise on my phone, and I'm like, there's like, before I go to sleep, there's like these creaks and these noises that like you hear, and I'm like, is someone in my hotel room?
Yeah.
Like, is someone breaking into my hotel room? And then I have to like look under the bed. I have to like look around. I'm like, okay, no one's in here. And then I like put it on, and I'm like, okay, I can maybe go to sleep.
It's
but like, it's just like it's not your space.
It's not. And I think I've just gotten to this place where I'm like, my friend says it, like one of my best friends says it all the time. She's like, if my fucking sleep routine is off a little bit, she's like, if the room is not 66 degrees, if the lights don't change to the red at this time, if I don't have this sleep mask, if it's not like this scent, like blah, 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 she's like, I can't fucking sleep. And I used to be like, bitch, you're crazy. And now like that's what's happening to me.
You can't, it's not the same. So it just like throws off your entire
And then you're traveling
day.
And you're working and you're not rested and you're like, I'm gonna fuck out of here.
But you like, because you have to be on when you're at work. Yeah. And you're like, hi, how are you? Like, people are like, what do you do? I'm like, I sit there and I go, hi, how are you? What's your first name? Great. I have you here for this. Awesome. You can head back this way. It's like
all day.
Like
repeat.
And then like they ask the same questions. And what I thought was really interesting is they did this like screening for their labs, and they were like, everybody found out they were low in vitamin D, and they were like, can I get a vitamin D shot? Can I get a vitamin D shot? Can I get a vitamin D shot? And I was like, we're fresh out. Like we don't have any more. But it was so interesting because they all were like looking at how they were, and they're like, I want it. And I was like, that's a hot commodity, but like we don't have any.
Out. Yeah. Like, get some sunlight.
I was like, I need some sunlight.
I know. Or the sublinguals. Hot take. The
What's
sublingual, like the droppers that go under your tongue.
Oh,
you got to get the D3 with K, not the D2. The D2 actually can fuck you up. So the D3 with K, and you get the sublingual drops. The absorption is actually just as good as,
right?
Yeah, it's just as good as like getting it injected.
Yeah.
So
I actually told the two nurses, I was like, Symbiotica is supposed to be a good brand, like a clean brand.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, as long as you get, I think the one that I have, the dropper is Orthomolecular Sciences or whatever. I just get it on Amazon.
Yeah.
And it's whatever. But yeah, anyways, traveling with work. Tragic. I have so much work to do this week. I have work to do this week. Like I actually have to participate in some things. And I'm like, I need to start thinking now where I'm going to go because I can't fucking say. Like I have to read research articles and like actually be locked in and paying attention. I can't be like morphing into this fucking couch.
No, find a cute coffee shop.
I'm gonna start bopping around.
Oh God, Froth I think is like kind of down the street. It's really really cute.
They're opening something on. It's maybe it's Aberdeen and something over here in the West Loop. Prosceno.
I don't know.
It's going to be like their whole thing on the side is like, you know, like lunch, snacks, work from home, blah, 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 blah. So I think that's going to be like a cute little like pop-up place.
Froth is a good spot too. I don't know their food situation, but they've got good coffee and it it kind of gives you that vibe of like hotel-ish.
Yeah.
But you can just like sit, get your work done. I worked from there one day. And I don't think it's too far from here.
I need to do some like actual paying attention of work.
Yeah.
Yes, not
I'm
just
traveling
me.
again. My last travel for this year is Monday, Tuesday.
Where is it? Where are you going?
Salt Lake City.
There's nothing there.
No.
I know you know this.
Nothing there. So I'm literally like, I get in Monday night, the last flight I could take gets me in at 5. So I'll go find dinner somewhere. And then I have the event from 10 to 3 and I go back to the airport and turn around.
I went to a good restaurant. Let me see if I can find it and I'll send it to you when I was there. That was
if anyone has some Salt Lake restaurant racks.
It was a casual, like.
Although by the time this comes out, I'll be gone.
Yeah. So never mind. Keep that shit to yourself because we're not going back to Salt Lake. No,
yeah. And my mom's like, I really want to go. I'm like, you want to go because of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City.
It's not giving real. It's not. Let me tell you something. Salt Lake is not giving Real Housewives the way you think that it is. It's really not. It's they're really strict about like. You enter a restaurant and like if they serve alcohol there, you have to show ID at the door.
Yeah.
And they're like, how many drinks do you plan on having? It's like, you're like, I don't know.
You have to be out by like a certain time. Like they can't serve alcohol after a certain time.
It's a whole thing. Which no disrespect, but just like.
I'm not going to drink anyway.
Way different lifestyle.
I told Darius, I was like, I'll probably get to the hotel and just like order room service. And he was like, you should probably go out to dinner. And I was like, we'll see.
I know.
It's just like so easy to like go order room service and like watch something and go to bed.
Yeah.
And then wake up in the morning.
My coworker that was meeting me in Madison, her flight was getting delayed and she was like, I'm going to like crack up if I just made you come to Madison and I can't even make it. But she ended up making it. But for a second there, I was like, there was this really cute rooftop restaurant that we were going to go to anyways. And I was like, I should just go by myself. And then I was like, or I could sit here and order room service. But she ended up coming anyway. So it was whatever. But I'm trying to.
Let me tell you, air travel right now fucking sucks.
My you can't just
travel
fly.
has been. We got off and landed on time. Like I was like, this is great. Like we landed at 8:30. I was like, this is great. Like I'm gonna get home. It's enough time. Whatever.
Oh, we land, I saw your thing. Yeah.
We land and they go, this is not a United problem. It is an O'Hare problem, but our gate's not open. So we're just going to stay here for about 20 minutes. We'll let you know what's going on. And everybody's just looking around like, are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
So we're sitting there. Then they go, we got another gate. Like, it's good. Takes us 20 more minutes to taxi.
Because the O'Hare taxi, they drop you off in Arlington Heights and then they bring you home.
We get to the gate and it's like ding, like, you know, like the noise makes it and we get off to, like, everybody's getting their bags. And we're standing there and everybody's like kind of looking, you know, like everybody goes like this to like look around and be like, why aren't we moving? And the captain comes on and he's like, I'm really sorry about this, but everybody's got to retake a seat because the air marshal or something didn't get us close enough to the door thing that's going to come out. So we have to, I kid you not, be tugged 5 feet forward so that the bridge can come out and we can get off the plane. So that was another 20 minutes. I did not get to order an Uber until 10:15 p.m.
Yeah, it's insane.
And then I was able to like get home, and I didn't get home till like 11. But I was like, I could have been home at like 9:30.
Yeah.
It's just like I don't know. People were like, it's because of the government shutdown. I was like, I think it's like O'Hare is just like,
but not even like I've
flown
like that. A bunch of places lately, and it's like there's always a leak. Something's always leaking, and they're like, we got to figure out if we can fix this, or you got to get off. And I'm like, I feel like we should just get off. Like I don't know, like what. So they had
we got paperwork. We got to wait for paperwork. I'm like, what the fuck is this paperwork?
Yeah, like it's constant lately. Like you can't just get on a plane on time and fly.
Yeah,
and I feel like it's been like that for a couple years now, but it's like exceptionally worse than it's ever been.
Someone was today in class. They were like, I feel like you're just like so busy, and I was like, I am really busy, and I like don't. We've talked about this where I'm like, I just don't think I'm gonna have a calm season of life yet. Like I just don't. Mm-hmm. I don't think that's coming soon. Like I'm traveling. I got back Thursday. I didn't teach on Friday, which I was like, great. I like did work, but I worked from the couch. I was like, we can take it easy. I was just like gone. Then I teach today. We're recording the podcast. I've got a wedding this weekend, and then I leave again on Monday. Mm-hmm. And so I'm like, when is the slowdown gonna happen? Because like I don't foresee it.
She's not coming. But you're done with the travel after this.
Yeah, I'm done with the travel after. And I mean, then it's like Halloween and then it's the holidays. And, you know, it's just like, I just feel like it's like, there's something. Darius and I we want to go on like a Thursday to Monday, just like little getaway, not anywhere far. We're thinking like Aruba or Turks and Caicos, something like that, just to like get away and like relax on a beach. I was like, I really don't want a ton of activities. I'd just like to like relax, which again is more air travel and could be really frustrating, but it'd be nice.
I know.
I just don't feel like, I don't know, like we've talked about it of like, it's a busy season of life and you're like, every season is busy.
Yeah.
Like it's just all seasons are busy. And I don't know when it's going to slow down or how it's going to slow down.
I don't think the things that are happening in life slow down. I think you have to find moments to slow down.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
I've really been trying to prioritize.
There's always going to be stuff going on. There's always going to be things that like you don't foresee happening. There's always going to be like last minute shit. So I think that maybe it's less about the life part slowing down and like you just finding time.
Yeah,
to slow down.
I've been trying to find my own, like my own time to like get in fitness, like get in my own workouts, because a lot of times I'm like so focused on everybody else's workouts, like because we're teaching. So that I feel like has been really good for me is like, okay, I'm gonna go do this workout, or if I know I'm teaching at 8, I'll go take a 7. Like trying to really just like find my own time to move. And honestly, the travel has helped, because like I'll just like, I don't have anything to do, I'm not teaching, I don't have plans, like so I'll go work out, I'll go find a workout class. So it's been like really fun for me, and that's I think sparked like more joy in my life, you know? To do a little bit more of that. But I think you're right. It's definitely like finding the moments of like pause and not filling my calendar if I don't need to. It gets difficult because people are like, we got this and we have that and we have this birthday and this, that. I felt bad last night. I had a birthday and I was like, no.
Yeah, but see, that's you then taking time to slow down. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I think you do participate. I think it just seems like there's no slow because you're like a lot of go, go, go. But
I just think right now I have a lot of obligations I can't say no to.
Yeah.
Like but it stops, I think, on Wednesday.
Yeah, and once the work shit is like
slower,
it'll be.
Yeah, it should be good.
It'll be a different thing. But anyways, hello. How's it going? How are you on top of that?
I mean, I feel good. I feel just like tired, like to that point of like there's a lot going on. Travel takes a lot out of you. Like you're dehydrated, you're on a plane, you have to go check in, you know, like you have to get through the airport, then go to an Uber, and then get to this and that. So it just feels like I've done Boston, Miami, Houston, New York, I have Salt Lake, and then I'm done.
Home stretch.
So it's just like constant go, 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 like to different places. So, and to the point of that we just talked about, you can't really get comfortable in a hotel. So
no,
it's just been a lot. But I have a wedding this weekend that I'm looking forward to like seeing my fam. So that should be good.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm like, tomorrow up until the wedding, nothing.
No, yeah.
Nothing.
Sunday wedding.
I know.
This guy that I work with just had a Monday wedding. How bizarre
Yeah, someone's having a Thursday wedding. I was like,
Thursday is less weird to me than Monday.
Really? I feel like Monday's less weird than Thursday.
Really?
Thursday just feels like then you've got like at least Sunday night you could have the rehearsal dinner or welcome dinner. Then you've got the Monday wedding. This is like Wednesday night you're gonna have the rehearsal welcome.
Yeah,
then
true.
Thursday wedding.
I mean, yeah, to each their own, I guess. It's your event,
It's
your
also
life,
like money.
your moment. Yeah. True.
You know?
True. Yeah. Save on the cheaper
How
days.
are you doing?
I'm great. I traveled yesterday. I have been actually like resting my SI joint. So I taught my class this morning. I coached. It was my programming, but I had, we're onboarding a new girl. And so she rode like
Great.
full out for me and she's great. She's lovely. So I did that last night. A bunch of the people from the last contract that I was working got together. So like Thomas and I popped over to like Fulton Market just to swing by a happy hour.
Cute.
Did that. What else did I? Yeah, I got back. I literally traveled yesterday. Like I got home at like 2 and then I had therapy at 3 and I started doing EMDR, which was like a little chaotic because I had just like gotten home and I shoved food in my face really fast. And then I was like, all right, I'm ready.
Yeah.
She was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, no. So that's a process in and of itself. It's never like a one and done thing. And I've never done it virtually. I've done it in person before. And it's essentially like, you're essentially desensitizing a trigger. is like the best way that I can describe it. So like in person, you can associate it with like a tapping, or it can be like an eye movement thing, but it's just different in person. Virtually, there's like a system that you sign into, and the one that she was using was like, there's just like a circle in the center of the screen, and when she turns it on, it just bops back and forth, and you have to like watch it. And then you identify all this stuff ahead of time. So you identify like what the thing is that you want to work on, what the triggers are, the negative affirmations that come with it, and then you try and find like, if we could change these to positive ones, what would we say?
Oh, cool.
So I have a really hard time, like without getting into like all of the details of it, because some of it is just things I want to keep to myself, but I have a really hard time with other people's stress, like other people that are close to me. That's been a thing. Everybody knows that's been a thing. I'm a fixer, yada, yada, yada. And like, my problem is I'm just not like feeling bad for people in my life. Like I'm having physical symptoms of stress when these people are having stress. And it's just like, it's not good for me to be in this like heightened fight or flight state because like you're having a hard time, you know? So the way you start is you kind of like try and identify the very first time that you felt that way. And obviously like memories only go so far, and like things stick out more than others. So like maybe there had been a time that like I had felt it before, but like I identified a time like right when I got to college that had to do with like family stuff. And so like you pick that moment and then you visualize it. Like you have to see it, which is kind of hard. Like anything you can see that like reminds you of that thing. So I was like, I remember like having this like text message exchange that was like stressing me the fuck out, and I was in my dorm room on like the second bunk like texting, and like that's the only, for whatever reason, that stuck with me. So that's like your thing. And like your negative like affirmation or whatever, mine was like, it's not affirmation, it's negative something, I don't know if it's like connotation or whatever, but mine was like, I'm helpless, because like that's how I feel in these situations. There's nothing that I can do to like take your stress away, fix the situation for you. I try anyways, but like that's just how I feel. And I always describe my anxiety as like static in my chest, because that's just like the best way that I can describe it. So essentially you hold your image and you hold like the negative affirmation and you watch this thing bounce on the screen. And it sounds really simple, but it's not, because you're like, your mind starts to go other places, because you're like, I'm watching the dot. And then you're like, hold on a minute, I got to be thinking about the image. And then I have to be like, so it takes.
And then you're like, tennis. You know, like something pops in your head.
Yes. So it takes, and like it'll go for like 90 seconds or so, and then she stops it, and she's just basically like, what are you thinking or feeling? And then you say what you're thinking or feeling. And it could be, I literally couldn't focus on that because I'm watching the ball bounce or whatever. Yeah. And then she'll say like, go with that. Let's go again. And like, you kind of just, and it was interesting because like at first it took me a minute to kind of focus. And then at first I was like, I feel stressed. Like I feel like the anxious and the things that I'm used to feeling, like thinking about this memory and like whatever. And then like for a minute, it like kind of went in waves. And then all of a sudden I was like, I've lost it. Like I can't focus back. So like it takes a minute, but essentially by like the end of, and I mean, it's just like an hour session. So by the time you like identify your things and you get going, like we had a whole pre-session, but I probably did like 30 minutes worth of like the actual like bopping back and forth, stopping, talking about how I'm feeling and that kind of thing. And by the end, I will say, so like I identified the stress I was feeling thinking about that stuff as like a 7 in the moment. It wasn't the worst it's ever been, but it certainly was more than like chill. Yeah. And then like, so you go through the thing and then she asks at the end, so like, where are you kind of at now? And she's like, I don't usually gauge like that at the end of the first session. She's like, but you seemed like a lot of things were happening for you. So I kind of wanted to see. And I was like, I would say like now the stress related is like a 4, like it's still there, but it's bothering me less. Yeah. And like, as the time went on, like, it's like I stopped seeing the image so much, and I more just watched this dot, and it was like, I'm helpless, I'm helpless, I'm helpless, I'm helpless. Like that kind of situation.
What is the like goal after, is to change that like dot? Yes. So like, then like that emotion comes up and you now know like the dot's going to change to, this is out of my control. I need to release the need to feel, like whatever it is.
The idea is that you now associate the thing that's the trigger that causes you to feel that stress, that situation can happen and you no longer feel that stress because you've associated the stress with the dot.
Got it.
Not with...
Yeah.
It's like, like we talked about, like undoing that memory network. That's just what it is. It's just like taking the physical or emotional response that's tied to the experience out of it because we've now like associated it with like eye movements or whatever. Yeah. Now that doesn't mean you're going to be out in the wild and like see something bouncing around and you're going to have like a PTSD moment. Like that's not what it is either. It's like, it's a desensitization is like really what it is. And then like, I identified like 2 other scenarios, which obviously like I did, you know, it's like a one thing at a time kind of thing. And so like the goal is next time is to kind of, but the only thing is like, here's the fucking thing with therapy lately. And I don't know how it is for you. I feel like my therapist has no fucking availability, like month out.
No, I have weekly sessions, like already booked. Or
I was like on a like every other week schedule just for regular therapy. Cause that's just like what I needed. And now that I'm like trying to do this and do it every week, like of course she has no availability. So like I'm on a cancel list, but like the next time that,
oh, that's so annoying.
I know that we can do, and it's like, and also she's gone for a week for vacation. And I'm like, she's like feels miserable about it. And I'm like, sis.
Well, it's funny because so with all this travel, I had to cancel all my sessions. I was like, I can't be like in like in an office and be like, I got to step away to do some therapy.
If you don't mind, I need to go
So
cry.
I'm like, I'm not seeing her for a month, but I was like, please let me know if like anybody cancels. And then she's like, I have a cancellation at like this time. I'm like, that doesn't work for me. She's like, I have a cancellation at this time. I'm like, doesn't work. So it's like, it's hard too because you're trying to stay consistent with something, and then you're like, but I'm not consistent. It's not her fault.
No, and it's not. And I was like, I was like, absolutely, like, don't apologize. Like, please go on vacation and do your things. Like, I totally get it. I just like the next time I have scheduled on the books to see her is like a month out, and then I'm booked from that month out every week or something. But I was like, I need you to give me something in the meantime because I don't want to like lose the progress, even though like it wasn't like I made groundbreaking progress, but it was just like you still get something. So anyway, she sent me like a little
exercise.
Yeah, like a couple, and it's like the same page 100 times. She's like, so you could do it like multiple times, which is it's helpful. But I was just like, I need to stay. Like once I start something in a therapy journey, like we got to stay.
Yeah. No, with my therapist, we've been like, I don't do any like that, but like we've been working through like just my own anxieties. I like dwell on things in my mind. Mm-hmm. And then like speaking of like going to sleep, like when I go to sleep, I start like playing situations in my head. Mm-hmm. And I'm not like a worst case scenario like person. Darius is very much like he'll go down the worst case scenario.
That's how Thomas is too.
I'm more like I just replay what had happened and what I should have done or what could have done, whatever. And I dwell on that thought. And then it just like pops in all the time and it pops in all the time. And I know I mentally can sit here and be like, I know how to combat all of those thoughts. But when they are happening to you, you don't always know how to combat the thought, like at all.
I used to do this thing. So not my very first therapist. I had one who sucked or just like wasn't for me. And then the second girl that I was with, I loved her. And she's the one who I did EMDR with to begin with. And then I saw her for like 8 weeks and then she was like, I'm switching specialties altogether. And I was like, I'm going to die now. No. But she taught me this exercise and I told Thomas about it and he like says it helped me a little bit. So like if you're like perseverating on thoughts like at night specifically, like it's keeping you from sleeping, she had me do this thing where like you imagine yourself near some kind of body of water of any kind, like it's a stream or like whatever it is that you, and like as the thoughts come, if you visualize yourself like physically like putting them on like a leaf or something that's gonna float away,
like set it away,
it helps. Like I know that sounds absolutely fucking nuts, but like I used to do that for a while because I used to have a lot of trouble sleeping. Now I just have trouble sleeping because I'm like my environment's off, but like I used to have a lot of like anxiety with sleeping and trouble sleeping, and it helps, weirdly enough.
I think it's also like the journaling. Like you literally like get it out of your mind and get,
that's another hack.
Everything like up here. Mm-hmm. Like there's a lot of times where like I know it's silly, but like to the same point as you where you're like everybody like tells me things and like I can help them. Like I can help you with your problems, but with my problems, I'm like, I don't want to burden you with that. And then I don't tell anybody and I just keep it all inside. Like Darius is always like, share with me more. And I'm like, but I don't, I don't want to burden you with my problems, whatever it is. But it's like, obviously you have to get stuff out and it's hard. Mm-hmm. It's hard to like do that, and then you want to think in your head, because also to that point, you sharing your problems, the other person is also now feeling, if they're empathetic, feeling a bit of like those problems as well. So it's like, it's a delicate balance of like, how do I get it all off, or like out of my chest, to that point, whether it's sending him off on a leaf, writing it down, whatever it is, to like, so I don't like just constantly dwell on these thoughts that are in my head.
Yes. Did we talk about the alpha thing last week? About the coping mechanism?
No.
No. Okay. So we identify as alphas, right? Like that's just who we are as people, and that's how I've always been. And sometimes I think it has to do with the type A thing. Sometimes I think like I've seen, women in my life have everything and then have nothing, and I've decided to not be that person, and yada, yada, yada. And so prior in therapy, like when we were kind of identifying like what the, situations and triggers would be for my EMDR, and I forgot how I got into the whole spiel, but like I said something about, I had a conversation with Thomas recently where I was like, I know that I'm the alpha, but like it would be nice if sometimes you were. Yeah. And he's like, I'm happy to do that for you. And he's like, but also, since the moment that I've known you, this is who you've been.
And also, we don't allow them to be the alpha. So
anytime I try, it's kind of like you want it done your way anyway. So he's like, but I can certainly like do those things for you. So like even like last night, like I was like, what the heck is for dinner? That's like our favorite thing to say to each other. What the heck is for dinner? And so we were leaving this happy hour, and he was like, do you want to get blah, blah, blah? And I was just kind of looking at him, and he's like, right, you want me to decide? And I was like, yes. But so I was telling my therapist about this. I was like, I don't know if I've just had enough. Like I've hit a ceiling, and I'm just like, I don't want to be the alpha anymore, but I just like want in moments of my life someone to take care of me. And she like brought up this like groundbreaking point that I was like, it almost rocked my entire world. She was like, the alpha thing is a coping mechanism. She's like, this is not who you are as a person, though you'd like to believe that. It is a coping mechanism. Like,
interesting.
You don't come out of the womb just she's like,
I'm here to run shit.
Yeah. She's like, it's a coping mechanism. And you being like, Thomas, take the reins, isn't you being like, I've had enough. It's you being in a relationship where you feel safe enough to like not have to control everything. Yeah. And I was like, you don't say, but it makes sense, and then like I kind of told him about that because I was like, I hope that makes you feel good that like I'm in this situation where I'm like, because before I would be like, a man take care of me, disgusting, never in my life, you know what I mean? Like I'm not that weak, I'm not that girl, whatever, but that's entirely. So it's like shifted my whole perspective on like who I am as a person a little bit. Like I think that I would probably still have a mouth and be aggressive and like all the things, but like
I think it's also the like allowance, like allowing someone to take care of you is something that like, especially as females, we've lived alone, we've had like our own pride in building businesses, whatever. And so it's like, now you're telling me like someone else can take care of me. Like it's interesting. Me and my sister Stephanie are like very much the same. And Bill and Darius always tell us like, you got like, I'll be like carrying 5 bags in, and Darius is like, let me take them. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's fine. I got it. Yeah. And he's like, let me fucking take them. Yeah. Like I want to take them for you. And Bill is the same way where he's like, Stephanie will be carrying 20 things. And Stephanie's like so tiny.
She is so tiny.
I know. And he's like, let me just take them from you guys. But it's something that like we must have learned, like we did learn obviously from my mom who took care of like everything. And so it's like those things that are like learned habits, learned like things that we do that now you're unlearning so that you can let someone else care for you in that way, which also means like who you choose and who you choose to be with and all that type of stuff. It's hard, especially when you are a caretaker and you care for your friends and their emotions and whatever, also caring for your partner and finding that delicate balance of like, and maybe it's not alpha energy, it's just like that like, I can do it myself. Yeah. Because how many times are you like, yeah, I can do it. It's fine.
I mean, that's my whole entire fucking life. And I mean, even I picked a career in which I decided to like take care of human beings for a long time. And even in those scenarios when I was like up to my, and I mean, this is like back in the day, like when I was like grinding it out in critical care, but like I'd be up to my neck in fucking shit. And like for me to, people be like, you need anything? And I'm like, no. And like, I absolutely needed things.
Totally.
But it's just like for the longest time, I was just like, this is who I am as a person. It's easier for me to do it my way, yada, yada, yada. And then I'm like looking at it now of this perspective of like, sure, that I'm sure part of that is my identity, and I'm sure that I do like to do things the way I like them and whatever.
Yeah.
But like for someone to refer to it as a coping mechanism and then be like, now you're in a space where you're okay to like let that guard down and just be in some scenarios, I was like, wow, see, I thought I was just like fucking tired. Like, I thought I was just like, I thought I was just like, I've had enough. Like, I'm tapping out. It's someone else's time to like step in. So I think it just makes you appreciate qualities about yourself that you thought were just things that were like embedded in your being. And they might actually just be coping mechanisms.
I think also it's like learned situations, learned things that like throughout our lives, our 30-something years that we've been here, are things that you learned. And what we talked about last week of like unlearning and undoing. It's like you've got to do the work to figure out who you are, how you deal with things. And if you want to change those things about yourself, there's some people who never want to change that about themselves, and they will always be that dominant person and be like, fuck coping mechanisms, or fuck the pain that I'm in. This is how I am. I'm going to do this way and be this way. They never want to change. I have family members like that who are like, I don't want to change. And that's something that like as another human who's watching it, you have to be like, I have to understand that they don't want to change, but I now have to deal with how that affects me and how I go about the situation. You know what I mean? Like it's hard. You can't, I think that's something big too, like with family and partners and friends and whatever, like you can't change them if they don't want to change.
Yeah.
You can't choose. If Thomas was like, but I like you taking care of me, then, you know, that's a different situation too.
Yeah.
If he was like, I've gotten so used to you being the one that makes decisions, that's cool that this is now your coping mechanism, but like, I don't want it. I want the, you know, like that's something too that like we can't choose how other people react to like our growth and what we're doing. But that also comes down to like who you choose as a partner and blah, blah, blah. It's like a whole other episode.
It is. That's a whole other. But again, you know what it plays into too? And like I do this and I know that you do this because I know you. Like I also, sometimes I alpha so hard that I'm like mothering. And I'm like, I need to not fucking mother. And so I said this to Thomas last night. I forgot why the fuck we were talking about it. But I was like, probably because I was like, FYI, I have class tomorrow and then we're going to record just so I know I need you to not be around. And then of course today he's like, I didn't know that you guys were recording. And I was like, we talked about it 4 fucking times. And he was like, I should pay attention more. And now he's going to listen to this next week and know that I just outed him to the public.
Yes, I was not listening to the conversation I was having with him because he was trying to do 2 things at once.
Yeah,
but like,
he can't multitask.
That's men.
He can't multitask.
No, that's
like,
literally men. I'm putting them in a box. Because Darius is
men as a
the
whole.
exact same.
Sorry, get in the box where you belong. Yeah, but I think there's also something like to be said about, I'm like, I can't, like, okay, let's just say he had a DMV appointment on Wednesday or something because his license is going to expire and whatever. And I'm like, he came to the gym with me and then we're like lollygagging after. And I'm like, you need to like move your ass. You have an appointment at 9:20. And like, I'm just like, I saw somebody, I think Alex Cooper like recently talked about it where she did a thing where she was talking about mothering and it like brought it to my attention a little bit more. And I was like, it is not my job to make sure you make it to your fucking appointments.
Let me tell you.
It is not my job to make sure when you have nothing to do on a Friday because like that's your day off that you're not in bed until 11 a.m. just because you can't
Listen, there is nothing sexy about mothering your partner.
No, it's gross.
So Darius and I went to couples therapy, and I was saying like this and this, and he should do this, and he should do that, and she was like, "You're not sexy. Like there is nothing sexy about you mothering him right now and telling him all these things that like you know how people, I don't nag, but like it gets to be naggy when you
repeat
when you're
repeat.
like this and this and this like." There's something about encouragement, like, let's go to the gym together. Mm-hmm. But being like, you shouldn't be in bed until 12 p.m. Mm-hmm. Like, that's not fucking sexy.
No.
Like, you're acting like his mother, and he doesn't need that.
Yes.
Like, and I think there's a fine line because I'm like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, I know Darius should do this. But, like, if I start telling him, like, you really should do this, it's like, to that point of like, I'm not listening anymore. They also don't want to hear it. Like they know this shit. They know they've got an appointment. They know they have this to do. They know they shouldn't stay in bed until 12. But now you're telling them and they're like, ugh, like you're acting like my mother.
Yes.
It's such a fine line because it's like, I feel like we as like women, we have that like caring, nurturing side.
Yes.
And we want to like mother in a way, but it's like, you're their partner. You're their like you're sexy and you're like attracted to one another. Like the second you start mothering, they're like, what? Like, why?
Or they enjoy it, and then you're just like, all of a sudden, like, it's gross for me. You know what I mean? Like, it could swing one way or the other, but I had this conversation with him, and he was like, no, yeah, like, I don't disagree. And he's like, but like, also, like, if I oversleep one day, like, could you please wake me up? And I'm like, no, like,
but that's different. There's a
I
different.
can hold you accountable without fucking telling you what to do.
Amen. Yes, because there's a difference between, like I said, like encouragement, accountability, support.
Yes.
And you should do this, you need to do this, like you got to do da 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 da, like that. There's a difference. I can't like describe it. And the more that you like you're a team, you work together, you support one another, you support each other's goals, you support each other's like accomplishments, whatever it is. And then when it's like the nagging piece and the like constant, like, I don't know another word besides like draying, but like you're like repeating, like on repetition, and like it becomes this like, repulsive's like too strong, but like it just becomes
it's kind of repulsive a little bit, like, and it's kind of hard because then I think it's like some people could be like, well, there's a fine line. Like I don't know how anybody runs their household, but like I'm not the bitch that's doing all the chores. Like I've been that girl before, and I hated that version of myself. I hated that I allowed someone to make me that version of myself. So like I'm the type of person, and he's very good about like doing things that without me asking.
He would not leave until the dishes were.
Oh my God! And there's still dishes in the. He like started. We were on a time crunch, and he's like,
me company.
I'm not emptying the dishwasher, and he's like, I'm like, why are you emptying the dishwasher right now? Like, I need you to get out of here. And he's like, we have company. I was like, Jordan isn't in. She has no idea what's in the dishwasher.
I'm
like,
also not company.
Yeah.
Like,
also,
I literally
she lives here basically.
Come in, my shoes are thrown. My jacket's on the floor right now. You can see it. Like
like she doesn't count, but. Like, there's a way to also ask someone to share those duties with you without being like, you gonna fucking do your laundry?
But also, like, you haven't done your laundry today. Like, are you gonna do your laundry? Like, that's different than like,
do you think you're gonna like blah 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 blah? Do you think you're gonna? And like, I've heard, I can hear sometimes when I hear myself talk, I'm like, I sound like my fucking mother, and she sounds like her fucking mother, and we all sound like the same fucking old lady, and like. It's not that I hate sounding like my mother, but it's just like, I'll say things and I'm like, oh Jesus, like that is like that lady. And I don't want to be that either. So it's kind of like, I try to do it these days where I'm like, here's what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Would you like to pick two of the four and I'll do the other two, you know?
We've gotten into, I would say Darius and I have gotten into our groove of like, this is what I do, this is what he does, and like we're on our own, whatever. And then when it's like, we need to like really clean this shit up, then we're like both whatever. But then like, my clothes are in our bedroom. His clothes are in our guest bedroom.
Same.
And then like we get into the guest bedroom and I'm like, oh my God, it's such a disaster. I'm like, wait, how badly do I want to be like, you need to clean your room? Like you need to clean your room.
I've done it before. There was fucking laundry on that bed for like so long. And I was like, listen, I love you, but if you don't put that laundry away, I'm going to end up doing it. And then I'm going to be pissed that I'm doing it. So it's in your best interest
literally,
to put your clothes away.
I said, I was like, it's funny because like I'll put his clothes away and I'll be like, did you see what I did in there? I was like, I cleaned it.
See, it took me no longer than 15 minutes also. We have a double sink in our bathroom, and like I just he has his own space in my bathroom, which Jordan doesn't give Darius that courtesy, but I give it to
when I'm gone, he does use my bathroom.
I give it to Thomas. Like we both, our stuff is in the bathroom because he showers in there, and you know. But the closet is entirely mine. But last night, you know, I was getting ready for bed and like doing the whole thing and whatever. And because I had traveled, my shit was kind of thrown, and I had so much shit like near or in his sink. And so he came in and is like, he's just like, the kid's just trying to brush his teeth. And I'm like, what, you're in my sink, you know, like, and he's like, going forward, do you think that we could just try to put less of your items into my sink so that I may use it?
This is why Darius has his own entire bathroom.
Fucking fair request. So like, I'm not perfect either. Like I have my share. I have my share of doing some shit where I'm like, I can imagine how it's annoying to live with me as well. Like,
oh yeah.
Because I'm like, I don't like mess, and it freaks me the fuck out, and like things have to be in their place. But if I'm in a hurry and I leave a mess behind, you better not say one fucking word about it.
It's so, Darius and I are both Virgos, and my mess is okay for me. His mess, absolutely not, and vice versa. Like we can each have our own messes, but together, like I can't stand his and he can't stand mine. Like he'll be like he'll leave a dish in the sink, and it's like totally fine.
It's totally fine until you've put a dish on top of it.
He's like, why is this in
like,
here? He's like, do we
Jordan.
not put it into the dishwasher?
dishes.
I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
You're like, what the fuck? fuck do you mean?
It's life.
It is, and it's just like, and this just goes back to like the point that we kind of made last week, but like it's just always, it's constant work. It's everything is constant work. Relationships are constant work.
Darius literally was like, when is it not work? I was like, never.
And it shouldn't feel, if it's like strenuous work and you feel like you're working all the time, then maybe like, let's reevaluate the relationship you're in. But like,
no, but it's constant. I think too, like, I think when you're in a relationship, it's like you either choose to grow together or you grow apart. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing too, is like, how do you support another person's growth without nagging them? And then also like, I don't know. I think it's not like the work that you resent. It's the work that you just like have to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not saying every day is work. It's like, enjoyable and like whatever.
No, right. I think if every day feels like work, then we need to have a conversation.
We'll talk about
Probably not you and me, but like you and somebody should have a conversation. But that is what it is. And sometimes it gets frustrating because you're like, I'm investing all this work in my fucking self that I don't have time to then invest work into you.
Amen.
But
I've said amen twice in this. Snaps.
Whatever. The Torah is fucking shaking in a library somewhere right now. Yeah, it just is balancing your own work and then putting work into something else without losing your fucking mind and feel like you're constantly have to tweak something. Yeah. That you got to have moments of peace as well. But it is just, it's living with somebody is really
living with the opposite sex. Like your partner.
It's really something. And he, like, Thomas isn't hard to live with. And I barely have to ask him to, like, do anything. Like, he's very good about, but then it's things like today where he's like, can I come home and eat before you guys? And I'm like, I told you the plan.
It's just
buy lunch out in the community.
I think it's something where they're like, they don't listen or they just like, I don't know. It's like Darius was like, we have this wedding this weekend. And I was like, what? It's like, how do you not remember?
Yeah.
How do you not remember? It's like, how many times do I have to repeat?
We store information differently or something.
We have the ability to be like talking to you, but thinking about this and doing like, I don't know. Just we have different abilities.
Yeah.
Our minds work differently.
And we should be paid more than them, and we should be honored more, and we should be...
we should be higher on this pedestal. And
here we are, and for some reason I feel like everyone hates women. So I don't know. It's a constant. It's a constant battle. But anyways.
Oh, I love a British accent.
I knew, so do I.
Oh, maybe one episode we should just talk like this the entire time.
People will hate it. Okay. Anyways, well, we already know what you're doing this weekend.
Yeah.
What I'm doing this weekend.
Yeah.
It's not much. We're chilling. We're hanging out.
Lucky you. I'm going to chill all day.
There's a Bills game tomorrow, and let me tell you something. The Bills we can't get into it because we just can't.
Come on, Bills.
So, and it should be an easy no-brainer win game, but here we are.
They're just stressing you out.
Yeah, that's a lot of that stress that'll never leave my body ever. So I've just accepted that as it is.
You're not using the therapy.
There's
for that.
no therapy that's going to save me from fucking that. So, but I'll be stressing out about that tomorrow, and then that's all she wrote.
Yeah, really. I mean, I got the wedding, and then I leave for Salt Lake, so that's all I wrote.
Enjoy the Mormons.
I will.
While you're there.
My brother-in-law was like, go get some Thai food. I was like, well, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what they over. All right, well.
With that.
We leave you.
With girl, everything's fine.
Enjoy your week.
Bye.
Good day.